Collins Fan Club has now entered the building.
Good evening.
You will not come alone.
Has he got the dog with him?
Good evening, punters. And thank you for your applause. There's still nothing I like more than a warm hand upon my entrance. That's the sort of level I work on, I'm afraid, for the majority of the time. I'm strangely drawn to this punter here. Even at this early stage of the game. Is this your jacket here? It's your denim jacket. In fact, you're a symphony in denim this evening. What's your name? David. It's all warm, this. It's been on your lap, I suppose. What do we think of this? What about this empty seat here? Is no one sitting here? Is there some amusing anecdote attached to someone who was going to sit here? Would you mind if he put his jacket there? Is that all right with you? What was your name? David. I knew it was something nondescript. That's much more comfortable. Would you like to put your jacket over there as well? Although they might get confused, mightn't they? Two peas in a pod, look. An apple cleft in twain. That's a bit of Shakespeare. Hello. How old are you? 21, really? Quelle surprise. He's a big boy, isn't he? Don't get many of those to the pound. Don't clap on your own, please. Someone will throw you a fish. What was this thrown on stage? Fish fingers. From 7-Eleven. 149, the captain's table. How lovely. One of my hobbies, apart from eating fish fingers thrown at me by deranged punters, is mountaineering. I know it's an unusual hobby. I don't know how I came to be interested in mountaineering. I think I was a very impressionable child. And when Julie Andrews sang "Climb Every Mountain," I took her literally. I was halfway up that mountain with a haversack on my back. I think it was a haversack, anyway. The thing is, you want somewhere to keep your billy can, don't you? You want a cup of tea when you get to the top of the mountain. I know I do. I did consider carrying a cup up with me from the bottom. But of course, that's pointless. By the time you reach the top of the mountain, half of it will be in the saucer. So that's no use to anyone. I love that moment, though. I love that moment when you reach the tip of the mountain and the team leader whips his flagpole out. That's if you get that far, of course. I mean, sometimes the mist will descend and you're left there just groping in the dark. Groping in the dark. Just a normal day, really. What's that punter there doing, mincing in at this late hour? I'm afraid you've missed my spectacular opening. If you'll pardon the expression. I'm sorry about this upstairs. I'll be with you in a moment, but this is a bit of an outrage, and I don't think we should let it pass us by. What's your name? Any idea?
It's gone.
It's gone. Rather like your hair, I suppose. Haven't got much hair, have you? With a lovely head of skin. If you don't mind me saying so. Oh, huge, this stage, isn't it? Huge. Biggest direction I've ever worked on. Now, there I was one day on the mountain, if you recall, groping in the dark. I heard this disembodied voice. It was the team leader. He said, "We're looking for base camp, Clary." I said, "Well, I found that years ago." So. It's a little known fact, but in 1981, I was the first man to mince up the Matterhorn. A year later, I tackled the difficult north face of the Eiger in slingbacks. Nowadays, I wear these Dr. Martin boots. Can you see, David? I used to wear stiletto heels and slingbacks. I thought about it. I thought, well, that's a bit effeminate, really. No, I think it is. I went to dinner recently with Lord Longford. It's a terrible cough, isn't it? Do you hear that up there? You want to suck a fisherman's friend? If you take my tip. Lord Longford, yes, I was sitting in the restaurant, and it wasn't my idea. The whole evening's enterprise wasn't my idea. It was some wacky journalist's idea of an interesting combination of people. And in walked Lord Longford, and so I said, "Good evening, Lord Longford." And he said, "Good evening, Julian." And he breathed on me. It wasn't pleasant. And then, well, he's got terrible halitosis. Let's spell it out quite clearly. Breath like a cat, that man's got. But I thought it's not his fault. He can't help it. I'll just breathe through my mouth all evening. Which was not easy when you're trying to eat. I had to take very small mouthfuls for the whole evening, which isn't in my nature at all. I tend to wolf my food down. And then he sat there and he started dribbling all over the table. I thought, well, that's not his fault either. So I just slipped surreptitiously down to ground level, and I slipped a packet of Rothmans under the table leg, so all the dribble went in his direction. Apparently his trousers were soaking wet by the end of the evening, but that's another story entirely. I sat there eating my avocado pear, and before I'd had, for my starter, you know, and before I'd had about 3 mouthfuls, he'd managed to upset me. He started going on about gay people, and how he thought of gay people much the same way as he thought of bald people. He said, people struggling through life with a difficult handicap. I was a bit offended, aren't you, on behalf of bald people? I thought you're offending a whole stream of minority groups here, in one swoop of green steam from your mouth. And so I put my fork down, very decisively. Down. Because you don't need a fork with an avocado pear, do you? And I picked my spoon up. And I waved it at him. Menacingly. I said, "You can say what you like about gay people, Lord Longford, but generally speaking, they don't have bad breath and they don't dribble." Well, that shut him up. He sat there hogging the condiments all evening and sulking. I had to ask him 3 times to pass me the salt. I think he was hoping I'd get cramp. It's no good. It's no good in... All right up there? Not a dry seat in the house. It's no good inventing a radio microphone, is it, without a radio microphone stand? Because I can wander where I want with this, but I have to come back here to base camp if I want to have a rest, you know. You want something that will just follow you round 18 inches behind, I think. That would be ideal. Did you ever see Trick or Treat, David? Yes, that was a show I did. Yes. How very discerning of you not to applaud. They all applauded in Derby. I thought, now we know where we stand. Well, Trick or Treat apparently was family viewing. I'm not quite sure what family viewing is. I've been touring up and down the motorways and... Well, no, I haven't been touring the motorways. What am I talking about? What nonsense. I've been touring up and down the country, shall we say, and via the motorways. No, I thought of a joke there, but I've dismissed it. In an instant. I've seen families, is the point I'm trying to say, at the service stations. You see families there. Carloads of sticky children and irate adults, as far as I can make out. But this show isn't family viewing, that's the point I want to make. This is lonely bachelor and single parent viewing. Mind you, everyone's welcome. You can't be too picky with halls this size, I don't think. Any old riff-raff will do. Just aren't enough supply teachers to go round. Your jacket's enjoying itself, David. Made friends with the other one. They're intertwined there. Who does your hair for you, David? Is it the council? Now, I rarely go anywhere alone these days because I don't like to, and you've already seen my pianist and constant companion, the lovely Russel. He's now called the oh-so-lovely Russel. That's something I noticed when you introduce Russel to people. They go, oh. We'll wheel him on now, but I do want you to bear in mind while you're watching Russel this evening that he is, in fact, the only known heterosexual in the world of show business today. Apart from Judith Chalmers. So... would you welcome, please, the lovely Russel Churney. Hello, Russel.
Hello, Julian.
You are a heterosexual, aren't you?
I am, yes.
I can't emphasize that too much. And is it a lonely life for you, being the only known heterosexual apart from Judith Chalmers? Or do you and Judith Chalmers manage to steal the odd evening together?
No, we've never met.
No. Probably just as well, isn't it? Who knows what chemistry there might be between you.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Russel doesn't only play the piano for me, he also does all my housework, which is a boon. The first thing I see every morning is the lovely Russel having a squirt and a wipe in the living room. Good lovely eyes, though. Lovely eyes. Can you all see Russell's eyes? Look up there and show them your eyes, Russell. Sort of goat's eyes, I like to think. He'll make someone a lovely yoghurt one day. When he's a bit older, perhaps. And you've got a girlfriend, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
As if to prove a point. The lovely Helga. But you and I have been together a while now, haven't we?
Professionally speaking, yes.
Yes.
2 years.
Is it 2 years?
It is.
Good Lord. Man and boy. There's a kind of umbilical cord running between us. You could hang your washing out on that cord.
You could say that, yeah.
Indeed, I just did. What were you, Russell? Can you remember that far back? Before I plucked you from obscurity? What were you then?
I was a nobody.
I just wanted to make that point, really. Have you got the rhythm of life with you, lovely Russell?
Yes, I've got it right here, yes.
Right. We'd never have known, would we? You hide it very well. Because I think it's important to stretch yourself as a performer, and I've been stretching myself in a musical direction. And I think we'll do a song is what I'm building up to. Don't need all this nonsense, I could just get on with it, really, couldn't I?
You could, really.
I'm shilly-shallying, Russell.
You are.
You are a heterosexual,
I
aren't
am.
you? There's been no change on that front.
Indeed not, no.
No. Right, well, let's do a song, shall we, Russell, without further ado?
Indeed.
And to help us in our endeavours, would you welcome onto the stage, please, the lovely Barb Younger and Michael Parker. Barb wearing one of a selection of outfits that she'll be modelling this evening. A sort of potpourri of minimalist fashion in the 80s. And before. Very tetchy, these musos. I mean, be careful. Michael Parker. Hello, Michael. You wouldn't think it to look at him, but his father was a boxer. And his mother was a cocker spaniel. After I'd been to dinner with Lord Longford, I thought I'll go to tea now, and I went to tea with Mike Smith. We went by car, and it's a round of applause for the car there. How kind. And when we got there, he said, you must come and see my beautiful home. And it really has got a beautiful home. I can't tell you how beautiful it is. It really is a very beautiful home. Also, I'm being heckled. What's Sarah Green like? She was all right. Limped a bit, but I thought she was nice. Just a lilt, really. It wasn't a limp. It was very nice. Dreadful sandwiches there, but we won't go on. And I got home that evening and I thought, well, that really was a very beautiful home. In fact, I rang you up, didn't I, Russell? And what did I say?
You said he's got a beautiful home.
There we are. And it was beautiful, and it set me thinking about what my dream home would be like. And this is really a list of the things that you might find in my dream home. I thank you. I won a competition for a modern day home, and now I've got concealed lighting and a push-button phone. I've a plum flock lounge with an alcove in green and a thick pile carpet in rich tangerine. I've a coal effect clock and a lady shade broom, a microwave telly and a non-stick vacuum, tinted double glazing which is 24-hour, and over my bath I've got a teas-made shower. It's a dream home. Of course, people don't seem to visit me very much anymore, but I can't complain. I still have my lovely dream home all about me. I think I've more or less forgotten the words to this final verse. But you catch my drift. It's basically just a long list of things that I have in my home. And any moment now there'll be a chorus, I believe, and I'll know exactly where I stand. I feel it coming upon me shortly. Any second now. Dream home. It's a dream them to remember their words. They only have two of them. Dream, hope. I had a whole pile of words. I did have a bit of a mix-up with my pills the other week, and I had to be rushed to hospital and all that kind of thing, but the doctors just gave me some Valium, and I feel a lot perkier now. Evening all. Police Constable Fan Club speaking to you. They said it could never be done, you know, that's what they told me at Hendon. It's where you're trained to be policeman, Hendon. Lord. What they said to me was, they said, no way. That's what policemen say, apparently. Things like no way or okie doke. So I picked all these up in Hendon. That's the only thing you can pick up in Hendon. Right you are, that's another one. But what they said to me was, they said, no way. They said, you'll never be a Bobby on the beat. But quelle surprise, punters. Quelle surprise indeed. I've got some marigold gloves and a truncheon in my pocket. I don't think I need to say more, do you? And I'm rather enjoying it, this policeman lark. I've only been in the force a couple of weeks now, and already I'm president of the Shiny Helmet Club. Can't be bad, can it? It's hard, though. I mean, it is a hard life being a policeman. It's not all flat feet and whistles. Not by a long chalk. The other morning, they rang me up, my superiors, and they said, we want to send you off to work. We want to send you off on a dawn raid. A dawn raid, if you please. I said, I'm sorry. You won't see me before 10:30 in the morning. Well, you just won't. I don't have my porridge till 9. And I'm not leaving the house without something hot inside me, not for anybody. Sorry about that joke. I'm deeply ashamed of that line. They don't call us the filth for nothing, though. You know. It's fortunate for me, though, I've got a very understanding boss. This is a picture of him here. I'm James Anderton's personal assistant. And if you don't believe me, I've got the whip marks to prove it. Certainly earned my stripes. And we get on remarkably well together. In private, we even have pet names for each other. I call him Jimbo. He calls me the spawn of Beelzebub. Works out quite well. It was him who sent me here this evening. He said, you're going to the Hackney Empire. He said, see if you can't improve relations a bit between the police and the young people. Because apparently some of you young people don't like us very much. I don't know if this is right, and some of you don't trust the police. Well, we want to change all that. So from now on, any young person, or YP as we call them, placed under arrest won't automatically be beaten up in the back of the van. Good Lord, no. No way. From now on, upon your arrest, you'll be given a nice cup of herbal tea and a fudge finger. Apparently it's just enough. Or if you get booked by the sergeant, you get a fish finger. Which is nice. All interrogations from now on will take place in the station sauna with a detective of your choice. And to cap it all High Court judges will answer to the name of Shirley. So what's new? But how is this going to affect your average Bobby on your average beat? Well, take a look at me. And I'm in plain clothes. If you catch my drift. I know David does. There's his clothes there. Plain as plain. But one difference any eagle-eyed felon or ne'er-do-well is going to notice immediately is the new range of police truncheons, which I believe you have there, Russell, thank you. Here we have it. It's pink and it's fluffy. Still capable of giving you a nasty brush on the cheek, though. Should it be considered necessary. Would you mind stroking my truncheon for me? To confirm its fluffiness? It is very fluffy, isn't it? Your hair's interesting, isn't it? It's quite fluffy as well. I'm only going to touch it. Lovely, we've got a centre parting. I didn't think we had those in London anymore. What's your name? Will. Have you met David? What do you do? What do you do with yourself of a daytime, Will?
Gardener.
Sorry?
I'm a gardener.
You're a gardener? Oh. Seedlings and all that kind of thing. Well, you are under surveillance, you understand. Loitering round a public comedian. Could be very nasty. Here you are, Russell, catch this. Stick this where the sun don't shine, please. So, there we were, Jimbo and I, thrust together, in the professional sense at least, and we had to come to terms with each other. I remember I said to him one day, I said, Jimbo, why don't you shave off that ridiculous beard? And he replied, they wouldn't like it in the coven. We had a truce once, but Jimbo's olive branch turned out to be a birch stick. So there we have it. But there was one aspect of our lives together that drew us into a kind of cocoon of love, and that was the appreciation that we both felt for the music of the lovely Roger Whittaker. You felt it too, I can tell. And the hours would pass like minutes as we'd sit in Jimbo's office, swaying gently backwards and forwards, to the strains of I'm Going to Leave Old Durham Town or The Last Farewell. And it was really during one of these moments of oneness together that I found it in my heart to say a little prayer for the soul and spirit of James Anderton. And that's not quite my approach. No, I prefer to pray for somebody, and in fact, I was going to ask you if you wouldn't mind if you'd now join me in saying just a few words to whoever it is that lies out there in the great behind.
Answer my prayer.
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 Answer my prayer first.
Answer my prayer.
I don't know what you've got to pray about, Russell. Probably some girly.
Answer my prayer.
Dear Lord,
Answer my prayer.
look down on your servant Jimbo.
Answer my prayer.
I know I do.
Answer my prayer.
And ask him, please, to
Answer my prayer.
stop sowing hatred in the minds of the ignorant.
Answer my prayer.
And if he won't stop sowing hatred in the minds of the ignorant,
Answer my prayer.
then strike him down, Lord.
Answer my prayer.
Strike him down.
Answer my prayer.
This is my prayer.
Answer my prayer.
Answer my prayer.
Answer my prayer.
I'm talking to you, Jimbo.
Answer my prayer.
Answer my prayer.
Answer my prayer.
You're the one for me, Jimbo.
Answer my prayer.
Do you like me like this?
Answer my prayer.
Come and get me, Jimbo.
Answer my prayer.
Thank you. How kind, thank you. This is a lot more comfortable now. Smart but casual. My costume designer told me this was symbolic. He didn't tell me what of. All right, Russell?
Fine, thank
you
you.
bearing up?
Oh, yes.
Look at all this mess I've made here.
Shocking.
You being a Virgo would want to clear that up, I expect. Trouble. Russell gets a lot of empathy from the audience. I can feel all the empathy going towards Russell now as we speak, sort of whoosh towards Russell. Can you feel it?
Can, yes. Whoosh.
Empathy being a bit like thrush in that respect, I think. If there's any going, Russell gets it. You got any mousse on your hair this evening, Russell? No. Hard to tell. Sometimes he wears... Yesterday he put some mousse on. A great big mound the size of a hedgehog. I spent ages putting on and I can't tell the difference. With or without. I've been on the phone to Joan. Don't look at me with those accusing eyes. Yes, I've been on the phone to Joan this evening, and she's very happy. She just popped into a private clinic, in fact, in Los Angeles, to have leatherette intestines installed. Apparently that's the latest thing now in Hollywood. Anyone who's anybody does have leatherette intestines. But they don't all have them with the Louis Vuitton motif throughout. Which is what Joan has plumped for. From gullet to exit. But she asked me if I'd mentioned to you one of her money-making ventures on the side. And I'm talking now about the Joan Collins School of Acting for stage, screen, and airport terminal. Now, what I'd like to read you here, this is vintage Dynasty script, and there are two parts. Normally, I read the part of Alexis Carrington myself, because I do bear an uncanny and unnatural resemblance to her. As I'm sure you'll agree, at the back. Can you hear me at the back? They're receiving me at the rear, Russell.
That's nice.
That's good. But the part of Blake Carrington, I got a feeling in my water this evening that there's really only one person in this entire auditorium who could do justice to such a plum roll. And it's you, David. Could I trouble you? Could we have some encouragement for David? You'll have to come with me. You stand on my left because I'm left-handed.
Yeah, just working it out.
Are you?
Yeah, just working it out.
All right. You ready now?
Yeah.
What do you do with yourself? Please, they're making up jokes by themselves.
In what?
What, do you work?
Yes.
What do you do?
Civil service.
Oh. No, I don't think we applaud the civil service, do we? There must be a coach party in Russell. Somewhere south of the river, I expect. No, I'm not talking about you, David. No, don't get touchy. So what's your particular role within the civil service?
Police.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And have you got a truncheon in your pocket this evening?
Well, maybe.
A joke there, I think. So have you done any acting before?
Yes.
Have you? What have you been in?
The nativity play at school.
What part were you?
Joseph.
Lovely. No, I can see it now. Now you mention it. The resemblance is uncanny. And unnatural. Well, you're going to be Blake Carrington here, all right? So the head of the dynasty households is quite a meaty part for you. I'm going to enter from over here, David. If you'll pardon the expression. And could I interrupt you? Could you be doing something? Could you be doing a bit of housework? A bit of hoovering?
Sorry? You get the maid to do it.
Yes, but for that, just say, oh, Lord. But on this particular day, the maid has gone off to a wedding because her sister's getting married. And he rang up the agency and said, can you send another maid? And they said, get lost. So there you are, all right, doing the hoovering yourself. Could we see you? That's very thorough. Wouldn't want that thing pointed in my direction, would you? Carry on, David, I'll be right back. You can stop now. It looks like you're giving the butler hand relief or something. Good morning, Blake. I trust you slept well.
Yes, thank you, like a log. I woke up in the fireplace. I saw you on the telly last night.
Yes, I think you might be overacting slightly, David. But it's very encouraging, good start. And you see, I've given you it's a weak joke, really. Not a good joke at all, that's why I've given it to you. But I slept like a log, I woke up in the fireplace. So I want you to see if you can extract a bigger laugh on that line. So we'll go from the top again, back to your hoovering. Oh, you can do either hand, can't you? That's remarkable. Good morning, Blake. I trust you slept well.
Yes, thank you, like a log. I woke up in the fireplace.
There we have it, David. That's your applause there. It's yours to take home with you.
Thanks. I saw you on the telly last night.
Yes, I'll sleep anywhere when I'm drunk.
Has the milkman...
Could you wait for my laugh to finish, please? Oh, yes.
Has the milkman come yet?
No, but he's breathing heavily.
By God, Alexis, when I was a milkman, I left an empty behind. Oh.
I think you misread that line, would you?
No, sorry.
You missed out a vital word, didn't you? Have another crack at that line.
By God, Alexis, when I was a milkman, I never left an empty behind.
Otherwise, we don't get the full extent of the double entendre. That word never is vital to that sentence. Was that your daughter I heard screaming?
Yes, she makes a lot of noise, but her heart's in the right place.
It's almost as if Blake Carrington was in this very room, isn't it? Pity about the rest of her. I'm sorry to hear that Crystal gave birth to 6 piglets in the night.
Yes, and I want to know the swine responsible.
Sorry, that is a terrible line. Russell wrote that line. All part of life's rich Tupperware. Those are nice trousers you're wearing.
Yes, Crystal made them for me.
Perhaps you should use a pattern in future. Have you got a jacket to match?
Yes.
Where is it?
Down there.
We're improvising now, so... Never improvise with a civil servant, that's my advice. Because you've got rubber gloves on. Now, where are we? Oh, yes. About your trousers on. There's no need to take them off, Blake. They're not that bad.
Yes, but I insist. You're driving me wild with desire.
You see, you nearly missed out that word wild there. You're driving me with desire. It's a streetcar named Desire, but you can't drive someone with desire. Get a grip on yourself, Blake.
Do you remember the first words I ever spoke to you?
No, I don't.
My name's Blake Carrington, but you can call me Big Knob.
Yes. I was wondering which word you might miss out of that line. Fortunately, we had a full house for that one. You can call me Big, you could have had. And then you offered me a job as your secretary.
I needed someone to help me with my enormous mail.
Yes, I think you're overemphasizing the... That's a throwaway line, really. Indeed, you threw it away. It was nothing I couldn't handle. Now, this is your big speech here, right? I want you to get a bit worked up, a bit emotive, and project to the back of the auditorium.
I can't stand it anymore, Alexis. I can't stand your world of clutch bags and slingbacks. I can't go on. I'm a wreck, a ruin, and a shrine to despair. Leave me. Leave me. There's only one thing that will make me feel better now, and that's to sing that old Roger Whittaker classic. I'm going to leave old Durham town at the top of my voice.
Leaving me.
Old Durham town. Old Durham town. I'm going to leave old Durham town, and that's leaving's gonna get me down.
The lovely David. David, we have some flowers to give you. And a fudge finger. And this special statuette of my dog, Fanny the Wonder Dog, for you. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. That's my dog, Fanny, that, well, as you know, I used to work with her, and then she retired. She had enough, so she retired. Well, it's sad for us, I know, but she's much happier. I think that what it was, meeting people like Ben Elton and Jonathan Ross, was all very well. But quite frankly, at the end of the day, she'd rather have her nose stuck up some dog's bum in the park. And you have to appreciate her point of view, I think. I know I do. I worry about her, though. She's staying in Swindon at the moment with my sister. And my sister has got this peculiar cat called Polly. Now, Polly was perfectly all right when she was a kitten, just used to bounce around the place like kittens do. And one day my sister came downstairs and she thought, well, where's the cat? And she opened the back door and Polly walked in like this. And my sister thought, well, that's not right. I better take her to the vet. So she took Polly to the vet, and the vet said, well, that's not right. She said, what's wrong with Polly? He said, I'm afraid Polly has had a stroke. She said, well, I know that, but what's wrong with her? He said, no, you don't understand. He said, I'm going to have to put Polly to sleep. And she said, no, don't do that. I'll take her home. Maybe she'll get better. And she's had this cat for about 6 months now. There's no change, and it seems to be all right. It's still... And Fanny just stares at it in disbelief. Not that Fanny is the most psychologically sound of creatures herself. When Fanny came on heat, she used to approach dogs backwards. Straight down to the nitty-gritty. Then is the wheelbarrow that's had a very unfortunate surprise. I was sitting on a plane recently. The reason I was sitting on an aeroplane is quite interesting. My manager rang me up and he said, "You've been offered an interesting bit of work. Would you like to do this year a pantomime in Reading with Linda Lusardi?" And when I heard the news, I was physically sick. Spontaneous projectile vomiting. I thought I was overreacting slightly. I thought you need a holiday, so there I was on this aeroplane and just looking forward to the baggage reclaim. Because I love a baggage reclaim. It's very often the highlight of the holiday for me. I think that being a homosexual, I haven't bred any children at all, but I imagine that waiting for your children to come out of school at 3:30 is really much the same sensation as waiting for the baggage reclaim. Correct me if I'm wrong. I wouldn't know. My suitcase has always been a bit of a minx, though. Always the last one through the tunnel. Comes bounding through, buckles all undone. Waving some stupid scribble he's done of the drawing of the hold. Anyway, I was actually on my way to Thailand. I wanted to experience the Golden Mount. Turns out to be a Buddhist temple on a hill. I'd gone all that way under a terrible misapprehension. And then I got terrible sunburn. I mean, my skin all burned and then peeled away. Came away from me in great big shafts and just sort of lay about me on the floor. I thought I was turning into a used condom for a couple of days. I was just sitting there looking forward to all this, and I felt something wet on my cheek. And for one awful moment, I thought that the air steward had gobbed at me. That was my immediate reaction. A 15-hour flight, and we hadn't got on at all well, unfortunately. His seafood ravioli was a disgrace, and I told him. I said, "I'm not eating that." He said, "Would you like to see the chef?" Which I thought was a bit facetious, really. And then the in-flight movie, it was one I had seen several times, and I very politely pointed this out. So I assumed that the poor man had finally snapped and was taking his revenge the only way he knew how, by expectorating on the passengers. But then I realized it wasn't gob on my cheek at all. It was a tear. A tear had forced its way out of my eye. It was just running down my cheek like this. And the woman sitting next to me noticed. We'd been chatting away. She was very friendly, in fact. Well, a bit over-friendly, really. I found her slightly irritating, but she noticed. Well, 15 hours, she goes on and on, not a moment's peace. I'd sit there with my Walkman on, and she'd lift up one of the ears and... That's taking it a bit far, I think. I went to the toilet and she came round the S-bend. So she was a bit trying. Anyway, of course, eagle-eyed woman here, she noticed everything. And she noticed this tear on my cheek. And she looked at me concerned and offered me a sandwich. Well, I took the sandwich and I wiped my face with it. Sat there with bits of tuna fish all around here. Margarine all in my hair. She said, "Oh, you've got margarine in your hair?" I said, "Leave me alone." She said... I was overacting slightly, perhaps. She said, "You're upset about something, aren't you?" I said, "Yes." She said, what is it? I said, well, it's private if you don't mind. She said, oh, tell me about it. I said, it's a very sad story. You won't be glad I told you. She said, tell me anyway. So I did. Russell, if I'm going to tell this story, could I have my cape of sorrow, please? Without further ado, if I'm going to get maudlin, I'll want my cape of sorrow on, if you wouldn't mind bearing with me. A change of cape would be ideal. Thank you, Russell. Going to take the other one away as well. So there I was, and oh, the lovely Michael again. He's got a day job, you know, selling heroin to children. It's the sordid side of show business. Anyway, she said, tell me the story, and I said, well, you plug your guitar in and I will. So I did. The story involved a bricklayer called Wayne. Wayne was married to his work, though, unfortunately. I don't think I ever saw Wayne without a trowel in his hand, and we really didn't get on at all well. He used to come in at all hours, expecting me to rinse out his tool bag, and I wasn't having it. One day we had a flaming row, and Wayne walked out of my life. And I had to face the fact that he had dropped me. She said, well, how had he dropped you? I said, well, I'll tell you.
Drop me like a brick.
Like a brick.
Drop me like a brick.
A piece of concrete. A brick.
Drop me like a brick.
We didn't click. You took me sailing on your boat. We hadn't had a lot to drink. You'd been keeping me afloat. I didn't think you'd let me sink. Any port in any storm was my philosophy. I thought your love would keep me warm. But then you dropped me.
Drop me like a brick.
I fell out of your hod, perhaps.
Drop me like a brick.
You dropped me like a brick.
Drop me like a brick.
We didn't click. You had the rudder in your hands. Not only the waves were swelling, but you ran out of fuel now. Was that planned? There's just no way of knowing. You kissed me on the cheek. Then you were gone within a week, I think it was. Oh well.
Drop me like a brick.
You dropped me like a brick.
Drop me like a brick.
Like a brick.
Drop me like a brick.
We didn't click. Suddenly I wasn't alone anymore. A whistling gentleman had come to visit me. And he was wearing a safari jacket. I can see who it is now. It's the lovely Roger. Not now, thank you, Roger. I want to be alone. I've got my cape of sorrow on. You steered me through choppy seas, and you whipped out the oars in a flash. You handled the equipment with perfect ease, but you dropped me with quite a splash. Any port in any storm was my philosophy. I thought your love would keep me warm. You kissed me on the cheek, then you were gone within a week, I think it was. Oh well.
Drop me like a brick.
You dropped me like a brick.
Drop me like a brick.
And I was looking forward to spending some time with you.
Drop me like a brick.
What have I got to look forward to now? Just quiet evenings at home with the dog.
Drop me like a brick.
Just the one dog now, since you've
Drop me like a brick.
dropped me like a brick.
Drop me like a brick.
the drift. Thank you very much.
Drop me like a drop.
The backing singers are just rubbing it in now, I think.
Drop me like a.
How long can you make the word brick last? Thank you. You all right, Russell?
Fine, thank you.
You bearing up under the strain?
Very much so.
What do you want to do when you grow up, Russell?
I want to have your babies, Julian.
I make him say that. He's obliged to say anything I want, really. It's in his contract. I'll give you an example. What do you think of me, Russell?
I think you're absolutely wonderful, Julian.
Oh, thank you. And in your own words, Russell,
Sure.
how will you ever repay the debt of kindness that I've shown to you?
Well, you know, quite frankly, Julian, I don't think I'll ever be able to repay the debt of kindness that you've shown to me.
You see what I mean? It's a boon, really. I think everyone should have a pianist. I had to put a clause in Russell's contract recently, though, forbidding the promotion of heterosexual values in my presence, because... You were flaunting it, I'm afraid, Russell.
Brazenly.
Brazenly. Shamelessly.
Indeed.
Mooselessly.
Very much so. Yes.
Very much so. Yes, that is Russell's catchphrase. It's a bit late in the day now to start coming up with your catchphrase. Wouldn't you say, Russell?
Very much so.
That's right, yes. See? No point in having a catchphrase if you're not going to use it. Right? I went away recently. I went to Thailand, to Marrakesh, which is very nice, very friendly people there. A little bit over-friendly, perhaps. I was just walking down the street and this boy came up to me and he said, "My trousers are all wet for you." Well, you don't know how to react, do you? I said, "Well, I'm sure they'll soon dry out in this heat." He followed me for a fortnight, this boy. This damp patch followed me around town. And one day I was just going down to the Medina. Is it the Medina?
The bazaar, I thought it was, isn't it?
Going to the shops, anyway. The Arndale Centre in Marrakesh. And I saw this delightful Moroccan table. So I bought it, which is the shortened version of events. I'll give you the longer version. I said to the little man, "How much was that delightful Moroccan table?" And he said, 7,000 dirham. I said, "Well, I'll give you 3. And we came to some agreement over the course of a fortnight. So you can understand, I was very pleased to have it in my possession. And I got it back to the hotel, followed by this damp patch. And the day came to leave, and I got it to the airport, followed by this damp patch. I left him at the airport. I like to think he's still there, in fact. The grass growing green underneath him from all that moisture. And then I arrived at Heathrow with my table, and that's where I saw the sign saying, "Do you have anything to declare?" I thought, well, I have got something to declare. My table. So I went through something to declare, and I said, "I've got something to declare." And there was a very officious man there in his uniform, and he obviously didn't like the look of me, and he started to question me. And he said, "You didn't come into contact, did you, sir, with any nasty substances while you were over there in Morocco?" I said, no. I was too stoned to leave the hotel most of the time. It was foolish to joke, really, under the circumstances, because he questioned me more and more, and in the end I quite lost my temper. I said, "Leave me alone." I said, I don't know what you're talking about. "What do you mean nasty substances? Do you mean like sperm?" "I'm going to frisk you for that remark." And he frisked me there and then. He frisked me. And he frisked my table. And he frisked my Samsonite. He's frisking crazy, really, I think. He frisked the wall behind me. And he asked me if I'd frisk him. We frisked each other for a while. And there was another damp patch. How is the lovely Helga, Russell?
She's very well,
Is she bearing up?
Oh, yes.
I worried about this relationship. I was just counting Russell's ribs one night. for insurance purposes, you understand. And I found 5 were missing. So I said, Russell, don't you realise that woman's eating you alive? It'll be your fingers she's nibbling at next. Then what will your piano playing be like? Well, he balked at that. Visibly, he balked. Then he began to sweat, visibly. I like a bit of realism. You are a heterosexual, aren't you, Russell?
I hate you.
That confirms it then. And I said, you want to see a doctor, Russell, so we set off to the hospital, and on the way there, Russell broke down. So I had to walk the last bit. But we got in there eventually. I got Russell seen by a doctor, very nice woman, corduroy dress, but very nice. And she said to me, there's nothing wrong with this relationship at all. Russell could manage perfectly well without any ribs whatsoever, although he might need to wear a corset in later life. I thought, that's fine, I won't interfere anymore. And Russell's private life is his own affair. And when Russell turns up to work with an ear missing, I shall say nothing. And when that day dawns, Russell, as it surely will, when you're just a little stump, the size of a bap, scurrying about the place, I shall turn to Russell and I'll say, Russell, you're fired. But it's only my fun. Do you want me to mop you up?
No, absolutely not. No.
This is one of Fergie's old maternity frocks, you know. Goodness knows what she's been mopping up with this, Russell. Now, I want to warn you about something that's going to happen next Sunday in a publication called The News of the World, that I don't suppose any of you people read, because it's an unpleasant, sort of scabby sort of paper. I'll tell you about it anyway, just in case someone you don't know very well comes round to your house with a copy. That could happen, couldn't it? Or you might be mincing down Mare Street in Hackney, and you'll see a copy fluttering in the gutter there, where it belongs. And you'll read this revelation about me, claiming that before I became the Joan Collins Fan Club, I earned my living making a series of pornographic films with Gordon Honeycomb. I mean, it's obviously ridiculous, and I would just like to state quite clearly in public that neither Gordon or myself have ever appeared in a pornographic film. Those films were art. I think that moment has arrived, don't you, Russell?
I do.
We'd like to take you on, you do look a mess. We'd like to take you on a journey with us backwards in time. Backwards in time. Tell them about it, Russell.
Picture, if you will, Julian's school days. It was a rough, tough, barbaric world.
Indeed it was. Rugby and homosexuality were compulsory then, and frequently combined. I never did quite master the rugby. I was in the bottom team along with all the asthmatics. And in those pre-Clause 28 days, the words head boy had quite a different meaning. In fact, if you stood up in assembly and shouted out the words head boy, half the school would kneel. And most of them would kneel in front of someone called Jimmy. Jimmy used to drive a motorbike, and we would laughingly call him the leader of the pack. And this then is the story of the leader of the pack. Thank you.
Is he really going out with him? Julian, is that Jimmy's ring you're wearing?
No, it's not. It's my ring.
Gee, it must be great riding with him. Is he picking you up after school today?
No, I don't go to school anymore, Russell. I'm 28 now.
By the way, where'd you meet him?
I met him at the candy store. He turned around and smiled at me. You get the picture?
Yes, we see.
That's when I found
The leader of the pack.
my folks were always putting him down.
Down, down.
They were. They told me he came from the wrong side of town.
What do you mean when you say that he came from the wrong side of town?
Well, they told me he was bad, but I knew that he was just sad. In fact, that's why I fell for the leader of the pack.
Vroom, vroom.
One day my dad said, find somebody new for goodness sake.
Sake.
So I had to tell my Jimmy that we were through.
What do you mean when you say that you better go find somebody new?
Well, he stood there and he asked me why. But all I could do was cry. But I'm sorry if I hurt you, leader of the pack.
Vroom, vroom.
He looked rather sad as he stood there on that rainy night. And as he drove away, the tears were beginning to show in his eye. Well, I begged him to drive carefully, what with the weather conditions, but whether or not he heard me, I don't think I'll ever know. Watch out for that great big lorry, Jimmy. Too late. Well, I felt so helpless. What could I do?
Do.
Nothing. Just remember all the good things we'd been through.
After all the good things we'd been through.
All three of them. At school, they all stop and stare. Probably because I'm far too old to be there, but I'll never forget him. Leader of the pack. So anyway, punters, you see what I'm saying here? He was the leader of the pack,
Now he's gone.
but now he's gone.
Leader of the pack. Now he's gone.
He was the leader of the pack,
Now he's gone.
but now he's
Leader of the
gone.
pack. Now he's gone. Leader of the pack. Now
He was the leader of the pack,
Leader of the pack.
but now he's gone.
Leader of the pack.
I don't know how else to put it to you, I'm afraid.
Leader of the pack. Now he's gone.
He was at one time the leader of the
Now
pack,
he's gone.
but now he's
Leader of the
gone.
pack. Now he's gone.
It's no longer true to say he is the leader of the pack, because he's gone.
Now he's gone.
Well, he's dead, isn't he? Sorry to be brutal, but there we have it. He was killed in that terrible accident with the lorry, and he has most definitely gone, I'm afraid. There's no way he could have survived that accident. That lorry was huge. It was a dirty, great lorry. Bike and everything was a complete write-off. I did manage to salvage a little bit of a mudguard, and I made myself a pair of earrings. But apart from that, there's no point in keeping up any hope at all. He has most definitely gone. And what all this means, the long and the short of it, is that I am now the leader of the pack. which is most unexpected. Not something I aspired to at all. I haven't even got a motorbike. Bit of a break with tradition, isn't it? But I have got a Sierra estate, which is quite nippy, and there's plenty of room in the back. The boys can all fit in the back. That's what I like. If we've got some shopping to do, we can nip down to the shops together, as a group. Much better than everyone in individual motorbikes. Take half an hour to get into the leathers, and then inevitably you do get separated by traffic lights or junctions. Whoever's at the back will get stuck behind a milk float. He's stuck there.
Leader of the pack, now he's gone. 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 Leader of the pack.
Not my idea of a threatening machismo convoy.
Leader of the pack.
Nowadays in the Sierra estate, it's much better. I mean, we have the sunshine roof open. I'm kissed by the sun, if not by Jimmy, because he's gone. He was the leader of the pack, but now he's gone. I'll be gone myself in a minute. I thank you. He was the leader of the pack, but now he's gone. Goodbye, Jimmy. How kind, thank you. Just slipping into my day wear here. You're kind as well, aren't you, Russell?
Oh, thank you.
Remarkably kind. Every morning, Russell brings me in my breakfast on a tray, which, you know, considering he lives in Golders Green, and I live in Marble Arch, it is an act of kindness, I think. He comes in every morning and he says, "What would you like for your breakfast, Julian?" And then normally I'm quite easy to please. I'm quite happy with a boiled egg or a bit of fruit. Every now and then I'll try and give Russell a challenge, and I'll say, "Oh, I'd like a quail's egg, please, Russell. I fancy a fresh kiwi fruit." And Russell backs out of the room, as is his wont. And he comes back sooner or later with whatever I've ordered. Well, what happened this morning, I don't know why I was feeling a little bit frisky this morning. Had the devil in me. Russell came in and he said, "Oh, you've got the devil in you. I'll come back later." And he came back later, by which time I was famished, and he said, "What would you like for your breakfast, Julian?" And I said, and I'll never know why I said it, I said, "I'd like Anne Diamond's baby, please." Poor old Russell, he turned white as a sheet, even without his foundation on. And he backed out of the room. Well, half an hour later he came back, and there it was. Anne Diamond's baby on a plate. Well, he said it was Anne Diamond's baby. Was it?
Absolutely, yes.
Certainly ugly enough. And I looked at it, and I pushed it round my plate for a while. My heart wasn't in it. Eventually I said, "Russell, where did you get this from?" And he replied,
Marks and Spencer.
"Marks and Spencer. Apparently they've got a new range out. Celebrity babies under cling film. Esther Ransons are going like hotcakes. Poor old Anne Diamonds was found shoved, wasn't it?
Shoved.
Literally, shoved to the back of the freezer with all the gâteau.
I had to stand on an old lady's shoulders to reach it.
I don't think we need to know that.
You wrote it.
But you said it, Russell, so... What does that tell us? Oh, you're being heckled, Russell. Do you want to answer that? Where did I get Russell? I auditioned him. Inquiry satisfied? You're being heckled now, Russell.
Who said...
From all directions. Where did you get that suit, Russell, and why didn't they have your size? Let's press on, shall we? I'm a press-on kind of comedian. You've heard of press-on towels? I'm a press-on comedian. I feel a finale coming upon me, don't you, Russell?
I do. Very strongly.
Very strongly. Well, to help us in our endeavours, would you welcome back onto the stage, please, the lovely Barb Younger and Michael Parker. This has been the Mincing Machine show, so we wrote a song inevitably called the Mincing Machine Song. I thank you.
Mincing machine, mincing machine,
I'm a mincing machine.
mincing machine, mincing machine,
Are you a mincing machine?
mincing machine, mincing machine,
I'm a mincing machine.
mincing machine, mincing machine.
There's a lot of it about. I'm not afraid to say it. I'd rather display it. My engine is running. My condition is stunning. It's not been easy saying it, but since I was 18, all those who know and love me have been proud to know that I am a mincing machine. They said you're a mincing machine. I said I am. I don't care who knows it. I'm a mincing machine. I'm feeling over eager. Bring me small figure. It was all a myth about me and Mike Smith. It's not been easy making friends. I've not been to tea yet with the Queen, but she'd had me to dinner and a nightcap too. She knew that I was a mincing machine. She'd say, come to dinner, you're a mincing machine. No need to bring anything, just come as you are. The lovely Russell is straight, but that's just fate. It doesn't bother me, and he gets his fee. It's not been easy getting here, but Hackney had to be seen. Watch your step, mind how you go, but please make way for a mincing machine. I'm a mincing machine.
Mincing machine, mincing machine.
Are you a mincing machine? Well, that just about brings us to the end of our evening's entertainment. It just remains for me to say, on behalf of the oh-so-lovely Russell, the lovely Barb Younger and the lovely Michael Parker, and myself, thank you very much, Hackney. I'm a mincing machine.
Mincing machine, mincing machine.
Are you a mincing machine?
Mincing machine.
a mincing machine.
Mincing machine.
Thank you very much and good night. Well, you might as well get your money's worth, I think. There's just one more thing that we could do, and that's a song called Uncanny and Unnatural. Thank you.
Call me affectionate.
I'll kiss you on the cheek.
Call me vegetarian.
I'll serve you up a leek.
Call me electric.
And I'll give you quite a shock.
Call me transvestite.
And I'll lend you my best frock.
Call me subservient.
I'll be right down on my knees.
Call me unhygienic.
And I'll give you VD.
Something strange has noticed as they peered into my prime.
Uncanny and unnatural, that's what I am.
Call me transcendental.
And I'll drop into a trance.
Call me merciful.
I'll give you one more chance.
Call me horrific.
I'll be Frankenstein's bride.
Call me hypnotic.
And I'll swing from side to side.
Call me well developed.
And I'll let you feel my muscle.
Call me big hearted.
And I'll let you play with Russell. Something strange has noticed as they peered into my prime. Uncanny and unnatural, that's what I am. It's the a cappella section. They've spent hours rehearsing this. I think it's paid off, don't you? The beauty of the human voice. A lot of baps there.
Call me secretive.
It's just between you and me.
Call me argumentative.
I'm afraid I disagree.
Call me into bondage.
And I'll tie you to the chair.
Call me into flora.
I'll put flowers in your hair.
Call me a taxi.
And I'll drive you round the bend.
Call me a mechanic.
And I'll show you my big end. Something strange has noticed as they peered into my prime. Uncanny and unnatural, that's what I am.
Ooh, that's what I am.
Uncanny.
Ooh, that's what I am.
Unnatural.
Ooh, that's what I am.
Uncanny.
Ooh, that's what I am.
Unnatural.
Oh, that's what I am.
Uncanny.
Oh, that's what I am.
This is choreography.
Something strange is noticed as they peered into my prime. Uncanny and unnatural.
That's what I am. Thank you very much.